So, dear students, I welcome you into the Industrial Pharmacy 1. Okay, so dear student, we had already started the cosmetics, and all these are the subject details associated with the cosmetic, and these are few of the slides that through which we had gone through our yesterday's talk. We had gone through the definition, we had gone through the classification. The classification, that is the nail preparations, teeth preparation, eye preparations, hair preparations, skin preparations. Then there is classification of the class cosmetics according to their function, like say curative, protective, corrective, and decorative. There is another classification that is in accordance with that of the physical nature, like say which is said to be the aerosol, cakes, emulsion, paste, powder, solution, oil, sticks. Then there is classification which is said to be the herbal, medicated, and the general purpose cosmetics. After that, we had gone through the structure of the skin, where we saw that this skin that will contain the different structure, like say hair, then melanocyte, nerves, sweat glands, blood vessels, epidermis, dermis, and the fat layer. So all these are the different layers. Then in case of epidermis, we will going to find the different layers. Then in case of dermis, we will going to find the different layers. In case of dermis, the hypodermis, there are different functions. And in case of hypodermis, we will going to find that there is a presence of the collagen, elastic, large blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, and the hair follicles. As far as the hypodermis is concerned, we will going to find that the thickness of the hypodermis, that is different. So, as far as the hypodermis is concerned, so that is the skin which is different at different location and in different human beings and the organisms. So then we saw that it is responsible for the regulation, and as far as the pathways are concerned, there are transappendageal and the transepidermal pathways, right? So transappendageal, that is through the sweat gland and the sebaceous glands, and as far as the trans epidermal pathway is concerned, that is across the transcellular and the intercellular, right? So you can see that all these are the different things that already we saw in our yesterday's lecture, and this is the way by which the mechanism of penetration that can be achieved, that is by altering the hydration of the stratum corneum, that is the layers of the skin, and transporting the ionizable drugs through the carrier mechanism. So this is the carrier, and this carrier that is responsible for transporting the drug. You can see this is the particular drug molecule which will get transferred through these carrier molecules. And there are some chemicals which are going to be used that will be helpful in order to transport the material, in order to transport the drug, in order to transport the ingredients and the components. Like say there is a component which is said to be the DMSO, the urea, and the ethanol. DMSO is the dimethyl sulfoxide. So they will act as a carrier, and these material, they will be responsible for the passage of the required components. So all these are the details that already we saw in our yesterday's talk. Now today we will see a few of the skincare cosmetics. So as you know that the skincare cosmetic, the most important skin, that is the facial skin. And there are different cosmetics, there are different preparations which are to be applied onto the facial skin. Like say there is a powder, there is a face powder, there is a compact, there is a blush, there is a lipstick, isn't it? There is a eye mascaras. Although these eye preparations, they had been categorized as separate, but as again the eye that will form the part of the face, so again that became the part of the facial skincare preparations. And you will going to find there is a foundation cream, there is a different kinds of creams, like say cold creams, like say vanishing creams and all, isn't it? So all these preparations, these are used for what purpose? In order to improve the appearance of the skin, as well as to improve the health of the skin. most of the time during the aging, the skin that will become uh, rough, isn't it? So that rough surface that can be hide, or the blemishes upon aging which will occur, that can be hidden, that can be hide with the help of use of all these different kinds of the skincare preparations. They are formulated for different types of skin, and you can see that there are creams like say anti-aging cream, like say cold cream, like say vanishing cream, isn't it? Now, as far as the classification is concerned, classification of the skincare products. So, according to the emulsion type, there is a classification which is said to be the water in oil creams and the cold creams, and there is a oil in water cream, like say the vanishing cream. As far as the functions are concerned, in accordance with that of the function, the skincare cosmetics, these have been classified as cleansing cream, foundation cream, moisturizing cream, and the etc. So cold cream, we know that cold cream, because of its effect, they will give the cooling sensation. So cold cream, it is a water in oil type of emulsion, and the cold cream has the emollient action and will prevent the dehydration of the skin. So particularly, you can see the difference. This is the particular skin where it became rough. There is a eczema, and once we are adding the substances like say emollient and all, they will go between these layers, between the cells, and they will occupy and they will hydrate the skin surface. When we want to see the as far as components of cold creams are concerned, so the traditionally in case of cold cream we are going to be adding the natural waxes. So the natural waxes, they are going to be added in accordance or along with that of the vegetable oil. Earlier the mineral oil that was used, so generally the borax that can be used along with the stabilizer. So replacement of part of the mineral oil, that is up to 15% of petroleum jelly that will occur, and the different textures of the consistencies that can be produced. So mineral oil that is responsible for the consistency of the cream. If you want to have the much thick consistency, we can go on increasing the concentration of the mineral oil. If you want to reduce the consistency, we can go on reducing the concentration of the mineral oil. The substitution with fatty acid esters, that is the IPM, improves the thixotropic behavior. So this its spreading property. This is because of its spreading properties. Purpose of cold cream: the cold cream that will contain the dry skin, and the skin is of a dry skin, and the cold cream that is applied onto the dry skin in order to protect the skin from that of the dehydration. So whenever there is a dry skin, onto that dry skin, the cold cream that is applied, and this cold cream that is responsible for producing the hydration of the skin. So this cold cream, they will prevent the roughness and maintains the smoothness due to its emollient property. Emollient, that is the smoothing property, right? So because of its high oily content, it will give the uh, soft and the moist, cool sensation to that of the skin. It will protect the skin from rupture or the crack formations. So generally in case of the winter season, this cold cream that is going to be used, because the case or the condition that is very, very common in case of the winter, the skin that will become dry, that will become crack, and it will undergo rupturing. As far as the purpose of cold cream is concerned, so the oil phase of the cream that will give the emolliency to the skin, and it will give elegancy to the skin. The pH that is required, that should be optimum between the 4.6 to 6. So that is the optimum and the ideal pH for the cold cream which is required. So ideally, if we see the different characteristics that the cold cream that should possess, it should have the optimum consistency. Again, consistency that is referred to that of the proper balance of its hardness and of its softness. So it should be such that that should be easily taken out with the help of the fingers, and it can be spread between the palms. It should be non-sticky, right? The nature of the cold cream, that should be non-sticky. It should not be sticky. Otherwise, the feel may not be good. It should have the good penetration power, the content or the ingredient that should get transported through the skin, and it should have non-irritant and the non-inflammatory properties, because if it is not irritant, then again there will be a itching. If it is inflammatory, that will lead to that of the uneasiness, and there is no compliance, there is no comfort for its use. So it should produce the cooling effect, because the name is cold cream, it will produce the cooling effect. As far as the ideal ingredients are concerned, in case of preparation of these cold creams are concerned, so as already told you that it should contain the mineral oil, white beeswax, borax, alcohol, glycerin, lanolin, and the perfume that is again acting as a fragrance in order to give the good feel and the good sensation once it is going to be applied. Mineral oil that is used as a base. Mineral oil, generally the liquid paraffin that can be used. White beeswax, this could be used as a thickening agent and emulsifier, and that is the again base for the cream. Borax that will be used as a emulsifier, and that is responsible for producing the white effect. Generally, the cold cream these are white in color. So alcohol, glycerin, and the lanolin, these are the ingredients which are used as enhancers of the penetration, and these are responsible as a humectant. Humectant that is to maintain the hydration and the softness of the skin. There is a need sometime to add the special ingredients like say the alpha hydroxy acids, like say lactic acid. So these lactic acid or these alpha hydroxy acids, they help in removing the fine lines onto the skin surface, irregular pigmentation, and the age spots. As the age that will goes on, so there is a spotting onto the skin surface. So the alpha lipoic alpha hydroxy acid that is responsible for removing the fine lines, irregular pigmentation, and the age spots. So there are some of the side effects of this alpha hydroxy acid, that is the mild irritation and the sun sensitivity. Beta hydroxy acid that is responsible for removing the dead cells in case of the skin surface. If there are pimples, these are pimples, or there is a pustules, and these are associated with the scars or the dead cells, and these dead cells that can be removed with the help of use of the beta hydroxy acids, and these are responsible for treating the acne. They will remove the acne. Beta hydroxy acid. Hydroquinone. So hydroquinone that will give the bleaching or the lightening effects. So these are used in lightening the dark spots and the age spots. Then there are some of the special ingredients like say the retinol. So retinol that could be used, that can be called as a anti-aging mineral, right? So as the age that will goes on, so that will produce the wrinkles onto the skin surface, and that will helps to improve the skin texture and the tone, that will remove the fine lines and the wrinkles, isn't it? So there is a great significance of all these ingredients of all these cosmetics. As I said that the aging that can be hide, the blemishes that can be hide, and therefore if you see just the look of the celebrities, that is on screen look, that is something different, off screen look, that is something different. Just to take an example of the famous actor Rajnikant, isn't it? Even though he will be having his age more than 60, 65, around 70, but still if you see its look onto the screen into the movies like say Robot, you can't imagine, or you cannot imagine that the person or the star that is of that much age, isn't it? So that is the effect of these cosmetics, and that's why these cosmetics are very very popular and very widely used in case of the women's, in order to hide their aging and to look beautiful forever. Okay, so the retinol that will plays the significant role in order to remove the wrinkles, in order to remove the fine lines onto the skin. Then some of the special ingredient like say the kojic acid. So kojic acid that it can be used in case of the soaps also as a kojic acid soap. So this kojic acid, it will act as a chelation agent, and it is produced by several species of the fungi, especially the Aspergillus oryzae, and it slows the production of melanin. Melanin, that is the brown pigment, and that is responsible for dark coloration of the skin. There are special ingredients like say, the hyaluronic acid. So you can see that they will helps in process of reversing the aging. So this is the you can see the way by which aging process that can be shown, and that is used mainly to the wrinkle treatment, the hyaluronic acid, because it will act as a penetrating agent. L-ascorbic acid. Again, L-ascorbic acid, that is the Leo form of the ascorbic acid. It is one of the form of the vitamin C. And in case of aging and the sun exposure, particularly the collagen synthesis that will get decreases into the skin, and that will lead to the production of the wrinkles. So just you can see, imagine, and you can see the difference between these two pictures. Here you will going to find that there is a presence of wrinkles and the skin lines, and in this particular picture you will not going to find. So this is before and this is the after use of these products. Only the antioxidant that is proven to stimulate the collagen synthesis that will minimize the lines, scars, and the wrinkles, that is the L-ascorbic acid. So again, this is most important use of the L-ascorbic acid, and this can be used or this can be asked as a multiple choice question, right? Select the agent, or dash dash is responsible for stimulation of the collagen synthesis, minimizing the line, scar, and the wrinkles. So you will getting the different options. Out of these options, one of the option is the L-ascorbic acid. So you should able to select this particular L-ascorbic acid, right? So always, whenever you are going on reading anything, you should read it in such a way that it will going to be asked into the as a multiple choice question. Then, as far as the cold cream is concerned, if we see the type of this cold cream, it is the type of an emulsion, and among the emulsion, it is the water in oil type of emulsion. Beeswax, they will act as base for the cream. Borax is used as a preservative. For 100 gram of cold cream, the contents are the white beeswax 20 gram, mineral oil 50 gram, water 28.8 gram, borax 0.7 gram, and the perfume 0.5 gram. As far as the method of preparation is concerned, you can see there are two, three different steps. The step one that will consist of the heating of the mineral oil along with the beeswax at a temperature of 75 degrees Celsius. In case of step 2 or in case of step 1A, simultaneously you need to take the borax preservative, you need to add it into the water, and you need to heat it again at the same temperature of the 75-degree centigrade. Then slowly this borax preservative and oil that will be added into the borax, this mineral oil and the beeswax preparation. So slowly add this aqueous phase to the heated oily phase. So that is the step 2. Once you are added, you have to continuously go on stirring, slow stirring that should be carried out continuous. You have to take care that the bubble formation should not occur. And in case of step 3, you need to allow it to cool from 75 degrees centigrade to the 30 degrees centigrade, and then you need to add the perfume. So this is the general method of preparation of the cold cream that already we saw while studying the practical, right? And you are thorough with this. As far as the vanishing cream is concerned, it leaves no trace when rubbed into the skin. So it will just disappear from that of the skin. It will get vanished from that of the skin after its use. That's why this is called as the vanishing cream. So oil in water kind of emulsion or vanishing cream is a oil in water type of emulsion, whereas cold cream, that is the water in oil type of emulsion. It has a large percentage of water and the stearic acid or other oleaginous compounds. So once it is going to be applied, so continuous phase that will get evaporated. So continuous phase, that is the water, and that will leaves behind a thin residue of film of the stearic acid, right? So this is as far as the vanishing cream is concerned.